So guys, I'm back with a new video. The only one that's excited is me. If you hear little noise in the background, it's like an air freshener automatic thing. So it shouldn't be going off too often. This video is not going well, but whatever. So my last video, I was talking about how I just wasn't feeling pretty, blah blah blah, just going through it, and I thought this is the best time to feel because I'm looking busted. And that's okay. Like, you can look busted but still be cool and confident. Got a few tips to help you out, because you have to go out in the world and face the world. You have to work, you just have to meet people in general, and you can't be hiding and all your time thinking you're not pretty. And even if you think you're not pretty, listen, you have to rock yourself. Even if you're a 2, you have to imagine you're a 200. Listen, I might be a 2, but I rock like I'm a 200, and I'm going through it because Mother Nature is coming. So I'll start getting my spot. So I'm expecting in a few days on my menstrual cycle, thanks to little Adam and Eve just wanting to have a little apple with her snake and not thinking about the rest of us. She really thought about herself. But that's not what I'm talking about. And one thing, I was watching a few videos. One thing I want to start with saying is, do you know them videos that tell you how to be confident, blah blah blah? Don't be listening to them. Listen to me. Don't tell me that I had to become. No, those videos they're trash. No, literally they are. Because I watch one and it's like, it doesn't matter what people think. And I'm like, but the video is about how to be confident. So slightly, if somebody's searching up how to be confident, they do get what people perceive of them or think of them. I think you do have to scrap that idea, as in, number one, don't care what people think. Do care what people think, but don't let it affect you to the point where, you know, it irritates you so much that only their opinion matters. You have to kind of balance it out, if you know what I mean. So obviously, like when you're going to a job interview, you have to care what that person thinks about you, because you want that job, or you see somebody that might have similar interests to you. Obviously be yourself, but you do, you know, have to be mindful. Or let's say taking public transport, you have to be mindful of other people. So taking that thing of, oh, you know, do whatever you want, don't worry about what people think of you, I think that advice is a bit outdated, and you have to literally take it with a pinch or a grain of salt, like literally. Number 2, the video is perfect here because how do I say in the nicest way, don't be looking at the prettiest people in the world. Okay, everyone's pretty. Everyone is pretty. Like, I don't even know why I'm laughing. Everyone's pretty. Like, everyone is pretty. You're pretty. Nobody is ugly. It's only our perception. Perception is the biggest thing, I think, in this day and age, because everything's about image, right? Perception. So obviously there is a social standard of who is pretty and who is good looking and who is not ugly and who has the perfect weight, perfect eyes, perfect toenails, perfect everything, right? There's a standard for any area of, like, there's a standard. So I'm not saying this to be like deep in any way, but don't be looking at, okay, the social acceptable standards of pretty and to be jumping to be that and comparing yourself. This is why this video is perfect, because I'm not the nicest thing out here, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the nicest thing, so you can look at me and be like, you know, some people might be watching this video and be like, do you know what, I'm allowing you to do that. This is your chance. Like, just take me as an example. Like, if you feel a little bit better, you think you're pretty, go ahead. If you don't feel as pretty as me, like, don't bug about it, because you can act in ways that can make you, you know, go about your day. And at the end of the day, being pretty or being classified as pretty is not the end of the world, because it's alright to be feeling muggy and ugly. And even people that are socially accepted as being pretty, sometimes I'm pretty sure they feel pretty, I don't know why I'm using this word, muggy themselves. Muggy is like when you feel, you know, like just not sweet, like not feeling, you know, tip top, I would say. So when I'm not feeling like my best, like I feel like really down and ugly in the dumps, I will look at myself, like literally look at yourself. Like I don't do this every day. I'm not one of these people that like I wake up every morning and I give myself a motivational speech and then I go for a green tea and then I do yoga in my local park. No, I'm not gonna say that, but on days when you feel like mad down or you're not feeling your best, like I literally have to look myself deep in the mirror, and I think you have to isolate everyone at that point. At that point, not throughout the whole time that you're in. At that moment in time, you just have to look at yourself. That's what I do, and I'm like, do you know what? I am fine. I'm fine. Like my insides are fine. I am alive. I am good. Okay, I'm not feeling like I'm facially pretty, but you know what? There's so much more. There is so much more to me. Right? And I feel like you have to say that to yourself and literally look at yourself physically in the mirror and say that to yourself. After that, if you want to make a few modifications, like you might have already seen my video, like I'm not really up with the whole plastic surgery and stuff, and my modification would be makeup. So if you want to put on a little, you know, eyebrows or a little fancy thing or whatever to make you feel like a little bit better in that moment, give you like a little bit of boost, a little bit of confidence, I think you should do that. But you should not be reliant, like all these things that you do, you should not be reliant on that in the same as looking at pictures or looking at Instagram. You should not be relying on that. Like me, yeah, if I'm not feeling sweet, like I talk to myself, I can do a little look up like, oh, even if I'm not going anywhere, I just feel good, just, you know, for that, blah blah blah. Sort that out and sort out my outsides, literally what other people can see. Then after that, if I'm not feeling the best I can, I have to look at myself. Like you have to address what is making me feel so like, oh sorry, I say look at yourself and see what's making you feel like it ugly. Is it Instagram? Shut it down. Like shut it down. Shut it down. Then slowly build yourself back up to it. That's what sometimes I have to do. Sometimes I'm like, oh my god, I'm like like I wake up like, what is this? Who are you? Like shut it down and slowly build yourself back up. Slowly build yourself back up. And what you should do as well to help you, if you always feel like you're always looking at other people on social media, log yourself each. It makes it more like annoying to log in and out. Like literally log out manually, don't save it. So every time you want to go and look, it's like, oh, I have to do it. It will slowly like reduce your tolerance. I'm making social media sound like a joke. It will reduce your tolerance to actually wanting to look at all these things and bring your confidence down. And you'll realize that after you don't, you know, be logging on and be looking at other people so much, you have more time to attend to yourself. You have more time to maybe read a book. You have more time to watch your favorite film. You have more time to spend with your loved ones and your family. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think in this day and age, social media, like I've always said in lots of videos, just like a big burner. And I think that's what might probably disrupt your confidence and make you feel not as good about yourself. So that's the thing there, folks. A lot of girls is boys. A lot of girls feel like they're ugly and can't be confident because of boys. Especially when you're growing up. If you're a teenager watching this, listen. When I was younger, I'll do a separate video on this. Boys will always have their opinions. Listen, they'll say you're too fat, you're too this, you're too that, blah blah blah. Sometimes you'll grab it, sometimes you won't. That's cool, but don't let the opposite gender be the end all of how you feel about yourself. Trust me. And I know girls can be catty, blah blah blah. What the boys say, we don't care. That's the fastest tip I've ever given. We don't care. fastest and maybe not the most helpful tip, but it might be. Depends on how you take. But literally, we don't care what the boys think. Don't care. Don't care. We don't care. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've got more videos coming up. Whenever they come out, they come out. You guys know me. I'm not even gonna make promises at this point because I don't want to disappoint anyone. I don't even want to disappoint myself. But thank you guys for subscribing, watching. I'll reply back to everything. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.